Yo, 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 yo. Yo, yo. It's the homie Mac. Music, art, culture, knowledge. Each one teach one, peace and love. Thumbs up, give me the likes. Thumbs up, give me the likes. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, 82 Kings. You know what it is. Always got to go through the formalities. But this is an impromptu session of Mac Minutes. This session of Mac Minutes is pretty much me talking about why I don't like discussing hip hop. This whole, I guess I was reminded of why I don't like discussing hip hop today on my Facebook page. I put up a couple of statuses, two different threads, essentially saying that the versus battle between 3 6 Mafia and Bone will be competitive. People were saying things like Bone is going to get smoked, 3 6 Mafia, yah. And my thing is, I wasn't even arguing in defense of Bone winning. I was just simply saying, look, you're tripping. You have a very short memory if you think that Bone does not have a strong catalog. But they sold over 50 million records, won 2 AMAs, won a Grammy, were nominated for various Grammys. They're sonically, they have resonated through hip hop. Culturally, they have resonated through hip hop. Their influence is pervasive. It's damn near ubiquitous. It was funny when the Migos were saying, "Oh, we were the first ones with this type of flow," and Bone was like, "Nah, bruh. Like we were doing this, yada yada yada," and even Twista before them. But anyway, I guess in general, people don't understand the art of argumentation. Just in general. I'm not going to get deep into argumentation theory, but I'll give you like a quick synopsis of it. Argumentation theory, or argumentation, is the interdisciplinary study of how conclusions can be reached from premises through logical reasoning. Let me say that again. How conclusions can be reached from premises through logical reasoning. Okay, I don't like debating hip hop with a lot of people because a lot of it becomes, and I understand that people process music in different ways. I understand that people are very intimate with their music. I understand that music brings people inspiration. It makes them feel good. I understand that music, it serves as a time capsule, a timestamp. Because a lot of times when we have these hip hop debates, people often say, well, this made me feel this when I was in high school, and I remember the impact of this, and I remember the impact of that. And my thing is, that's cool. I understand that. But I think people need to be more objective when they start juxtaposing eras and juxtaposing albums and saying which is better and which is worse. I understand, again, ultimately, this is all subjective. But I think if you want to step into the realm of argumentation and have a debate, there need to be premises. So when I debate with people about hip-hop, or rap in general, I always try to use, I'm a student of dialectics. Dialectics meaning thesis, original thought, antithesis, opposing thought, and synthesis. A conclusion. Let me say it again. Antithesis, thesis, synthesis. Dialectics. And by that, I'm saying I like to have conversations, walk away with a better understanding, or walk away with a new understanding, or it's logic. You know what I'm saying? It's about reasoning. I like to have, I understand that some things are not concrete, they're existential, so you can't necessarily draw a conclusion, a forward conclusion, but you can at least deal in logic. So, and again, I feel like a lot of times people don't use logic when they debate in general, but especially with hip hop. I see people get very disrespectful. I had to check a couple people today. I've seen people get disrespectful. I've seen people have no linear thought process. They're just speaking strictly from emotion. There's no objective, concrete, there's nothing tangible that they can attach what they feel to. They're just saying it. And a lot of times I think with this generation, we mistake feelings for realities. We mistake feelings for things. And again, I understand that people process music differently, and it means different things to different people at different times, different places. I get all that. But when people start making like these inane statements, these bogus statements, come with these straw man arguments, these ad hominems. I just don't suffer people well that go there, and that's why I don't like talking about hip hop specifically. But okay, Maurice, Mac, how do you feel? You know, I'm gonna put the heat on me. What resonates with me? What is my scale? What is my metric? How do I when I enter these debates about who's better than or worse than, what are the things that I'm holding people to? What is my standard? First thing is flow. And again that's highly subjective, because somebody can have flow to you and then not have flow to another person. So I get it. But in my mind, I think about flow, I think about delivery, I think about storytelling. Can you tell me a story? Can you conceptualize something? I think about creativity. Are you creative, or are you just a one of millions? Are you just a carbon copy? Then I think about whether or not your music is timeless. Does it resonate through time? Then I also think about numbers. Sometimes, like, if there comes to a stalemate where people are equal in certain tiers, I have to try to factor in something else to bring a delineation. So I'll talk about numbers, which kind of, I guess, bleeds into cultural influence. Then I talk about consistency. And let me tell you something. I'm going to be completely objective. If someone were to ask me, who is better between Kanye and, let me say, a Nas, personally, I like Nas more. But when I think about musical influence, when I think about cultural influence, and that's not to say that Nas has Nas has definitely influenced a lot of writers. Nas is Kanye's favorite writer. But as far as, like, in context of now, I'll say Kanye is going to be the preferred artist. Even though objectively I think Nas is better. When I think about numbers, when I think about cultural influence, Kanye has literally transcended hip hop. Kanye is on his own island. People hang on to the things that Kanye says, the things that he does. He is becoming a whole thing within himself. And again, I understand the argument that, I only grew up during this time, and I didn't hear this, and I didn't hear that. And that's why I feel like, as people who are hip-hop fans, they need to go beyond their time capsule. If you grew up listening to the Migos, if you grew up listening to Gucci Mane, if you grew up listening to Tupac, whoever, go back. Go further back. One thing I love about people who are into, like, classical music, or people that are into, like, rock and roll and things of that nature, they seem to have a holistic appreciation and understanding of the art. Hip-hop, especially in America, we don't. Black people, it's like we see something that's really good, and then we discard it. We totally forget about it and go on to the next thing. And then when we have debates, it's like you totally forgot about the elder statesman or the music that predates the now, and you don't give credence to the things that came before it. That's why, like, I can't sit here and listen to somebody first of all, okay, I'm from Detroit, 80s baby, grew up in the 90s, Midwest, moved south to Georgia in the 9th grade when I was 15. I literally saw, being in the Midwest, you're literally in the middle of everything. You're like framed between everything. So I'm going to use Bone and 3 6 as an example. I saw Bone's ascension. I saw 3 6's ascension. I would say that a lot of times, and I'm gonna be real with it. I would say that ultimately, right now, as far as, like, the past 10 years, 3 6 surpassed Bone. But Bone's original catalog, their catalog is hard. I get it. 3 6's catalog is hard, but again, I think people have a short memory. They just think about the things 3 6 has done within the past 5 to 10 years. But Bone ain't no slouch. And 3 6 has dropped a lot of tapes. And I'm not going to say they're necessarily always consistent, but you can say the same for Bone. Bone was not always consistent. But all I'm saying is, ultimately, I don't like discussing hip-hop, debating hip-hop, because I think people have biases to their regions. Like, hip-hop is literally the only musical art form I can think of where people have an allegiance to a region. They have allegiance to a region. They have a regional alliances or allegiances. I admit the fact that as the art form grows, there's going to be new topics of discussion. New things are going to be interjected, transmuted, whatever. I remember somebody telling me, well, you know, Maurice, Mac, Doug Motivation is somebody's Illmatic. And I thought that was fair. I thought that was a fair assessment. Doug Motivation is someone's Illmatic. So Far Gone is somebody's Reasonable Doubt. You know what I'm saying? I respect it. I just think hip hop culture itself is it's so cutting and piercing, and everybody's at each other's neck. But I don't think we really sit back and appreciate the art and the things that are being produced, because there's a lot of talent out there. I'm not such a hip hop prude or purist where I think, well, if you don't rap like this or sound like this, you're not good. I can appreciate a Mystical. I can appreciate even a Silk the Shocker. I can appreciate C Murder. I can appreciate Manny Fresh. I can appreciate DJ Yella, DJ Unique. I can appreciate DJ Premier. I appreciate the gumbo that is stirred in the pot that is hip hop. I can appreciate it all. So my thing is show appreciation. Be real. Be real. But this is why, again, I don't like discussing hip hop, because people just be all over the place and be hella aggressive and don't know what they be talking about. But again, there needs to be a scale or a metric for these discussions. And the thing that I don't like is I'll mention one artist and they'll say, well, he's a better writer than such and such, so he's better. And then I'll be like, okay, so it's all about being a writer. And then they'll be like, well, he moved more units, so he's better. I'm just like, wait a minute, you just said he was a better writer. Is it about writing? Is it about lyrics? Or is it about units? Like, what is the, and people move the goalposts, and it's hard to have an objective conversation. But anyway, I try to be very objective, and I can be real about processing the world in real time around me. I understand that as dope as I think Nas is, there is a little kid in Southwest Atlanta. There is a little kid in Watts who's not even a little kid, that's maybe 9th, 8th, 10th grade, who has no resonance of a Nas. And Polo G is like the God MC to them. So hip hop is a continuum. I just think people need to, I think ultimately the best way to say who's really good and the best is to look at their cultural resonance and their cultural influence. I can see how a Bone Thugs has resonated through time. They've transcended their era. I can see how generations that came after them did things that Bone did. Same thing for who else? For Shawty Red. I think without Shawty Red, there is no without Shawty Red or DJ Toomp, who else? There is no Metro Boomin. It's like people have to understand we're passing a baton. But anyway, it's the homie Mac. Each one teach one piece of love. Signing out from the Dogon. Thumbs up, give me the likes. Thumbs up, give me the likes. I'm out.